Hi friends, this is your message from the Winter Solstice, and you have 3 cards or 3 readings to choose from to connect with your message. So the first is the unknown, number 41. Think on it and you will stumble, for the heart is a ghost upon the unknown. Let it bleed into the depths, bearing nothing but desire. The second group is Silent Night, number 32. If by night the world should sleep, a sleep so deep the silence be deafening, there would sound nothing at all nothing would sound. And then group number 3, Reindeer Medicine, number 28. Journey into the depths of your soul, an awakening of sights revealed. It is time for no time at all, for all is presently here. So take a moment and pause the video if you need to see what imagery, words, or numbers are drawing you to claiming that message, and I will see you ahead in that reading or readings. Hi reading one, so welcome to your message from the Winter Solstice. I wanted to start by reading the description from your card here. This is a new deck that I'm using, Seasons of the Witch Yule Oracle, and I am excited to be feeling the new energies and to be getting used to the messages coming in. So the first thing actually I want to mention intuitively is that you have this circular image, right? Like a moon, like a new moon or an eclipse, and it's covering just one eye. And the message I feel from that is it's both a disadvantage and an advantage, because you have one eye on the physical plane, on what we might call like the real world reality, but you have another eye that can see other worlds, and it can turn inwards and it can turn otherwise. And so there's something that you're still figuring out about that process and reconciling the two perspectives on the world, on reality around you, that you're still figuring out. I'm going to read from the book, but something that was interesting that I noticed as I was looking for the card was that the unknown card comes right after turning inward and right before wise men. So there's something, you're in the process where you've chosen to turn inward and question what your experience has been, question what it means, and you're right before the outcome of becoming wiser for it. So that's really exciting, and a little bit of an encouragement for you as you're traversing the unknown, that there is a destination in sight, there is a trajectory to what you're going through. You're not just feeling around in the dark, it's only partial darkness. Okay, so your keywords here are potential, creativity, risk. Think on it and you will stumble, for the heart is a ghost upon the unknown. Let it bleed into the depths, bearing nothing but desire. The unknown is wide open to you now, and pulling this card is a sign that your creative power and ability to manifest your dreams is growing. Take advantage of this unusual period of support and abundance. Visualize all your deepest desires and greatest wishes. Be the master of your canvas and paint the image of your dreams. Will you dare to entertain your biggest goals? The unknown requires you to be willing to take a risk. What you want cannot be achieved from a place of comfort or in doing what you already know. With significant risk comes great rewards, and the unknown says now is the time to take a leap of faith. Do not be afraid to fail. Even failure has values and lessons that will help you grow. Be bold and be willing to go against conformity for the sake of freedom and divine alignment with your soul's purpose. That's amazing that this ended with that destination point, which is divine alignment with your soul's purpose. So even though you're going through this feeling or this experience of the unknown, you do have some kind of like inner compass guiding you through it, guiding you towards your soul's alignment, and that's why it makes sense to you, even if it doesn't seem like it makes sense according to everything that you've learned in the past and everything that everyone else kind of accepts as conventional knowledge or conventional understanding of reality. There's something pulling you in another direction, this otherwise, right? This eye that you can see going, or revealing another path, another direction to you. Oh, sorry about that. You had some cards that fell. And so I'm going to leave those on the floor. I'm going to take those as not meant for you. But I did see one card, which was the full card, 0. But in this deck, it's called the Child. So there's something that you can let go of from your childhood, from your past, that plays into this future direction that you're headed. So let's get more tarot cards on your message from the Winter Solstice. Page of Gifts in reverse. Queen of Gifts in reverse. 6 of Candles in reverse. I'm gonna get one more. Ace of Good Cheer. So the first connections I saw here was that child energy coming through with the Page of Gifts, and as well as a parent energy coming through with the Queen of Gifts. Both of these are in reverse, so it's speaking to me about like something like a karmic relationship, a karmic bond in growing up in your family life. Particularly, it could be to do with a mother figure, but it could be either parent. Something that was hoped for but not received is really coming in here. Something that could have been given and that you were expecting from the parent that was not received, or the parent figure. And this is a confirmation that, yeah, there really was a missed opportunity here in that relationship. It was almost like on the parents' end, they took the wrong turn down a fork in a road, or they missed a turn that they had an opportunity to learn a big life lesson with you as part of that lesson that was defining your relationship. And so the way that these words are coming through to me, you can see that there's a placement of blame on the decisions of the parent figure. And I'm taking this to mean that it's a message to you to release guilt or blame that you're placing on yourself. It's more like you were in the adult's path to kind of put them in the situation to help guide them towards making better connections, making decisions that benefit themselves and others at the same time. Giving this gift, handing it off, and they just didn't do it. However that's landing. It comes down to love and connection always, but it could be something like an intuitive gift that they didn't, that was inherited down the line. They didn't understand it. They didn't know how to teach you how to use it. I'm saying this, I'm remembering that this image where you have that intuitive eye here coming through, right? So it could be like clairvoyance, and maybe they just dismissed it or denied it because they were afraid themselves. But that put you at a disadvantage too. And that was their decision to make. It wasn't yours. And so any guilt or shame you have around this, or blame, you can find ways to let go of that, to release that. And I see in the child's lap here, she's writing in a journal. So very obvious, I think, solution or suggestion to you is to write in a journal, and kind of let those things out into words, and then you could do something with those words, like dissolve them in water or burn them in fire, whatever makes sense to your soul. So with the Six of Candles in reverse, that is a message of something being not successful. And so you might characterize this relationship as not successful, and there was something in this authority or parental figure's life path in their decision that was not successful. And the message is that's for them to work out now and in their next life or lives, and it's not for you to work out in any way. What's actually coming for you is here, the Ace of Good Cheer, which is the Ace of Cups, and it's beautiful, and it's like a blank slate. It's a fresh offer of starting with love and redefining love for yourself on your own terms. You have an innate knowledge of what this true love is. I want to say unconditional love as well. And it's been brewing inside you. You have a beautiful recipe, and it's like what you're learning now with the winter solstice is to trust that recipe and to start to share it with others, because others want to connect with you in this way. So there's a message here with the Ace of Good Cheer that starts with self-love, self-understanding, and self-care are the two kind of branches that are standing out the most to me. So self-understanding, like self-awareness, but also not just awareness, but deep understanding of the self is what you're going through with the unknown. And sorry, I just got distracted. Let me just finish this thought. Self-understanding, self-awareness, and self-care. So learning how to act on that self-understanding and self-awareness to meet your needs, to care for yourself. These are things that were not gifted to you from the parent figure, and you are learning now that you have the home brew, you have the recipe to do this for yourself, to repair that cycle, the chain that you have broken. You have broken a toxic cycle in your family line, and now you're repairing it with this beautiful seed of new love. I got distracted because I realized that I have a marking on my face similar to the women in this depiction, and so you might have a marking that you find defining to your identity. There's a message for you to embrace that. There's something about the balance between things that are inherited biologically and things that define you uniquely that you can strike in the winter solstice. Not relying too heavily on biology and DNA and ancestry to define you. Also recognizing what you yourself, your soul uniquely brings to that sense of identity. That's a big starting point for you in your discovery of self-love. Oh no, my cat's about to jump up on the table. It would destroy the reading. Yeah, and it could start with an animal companion, actually. I mean, love manifests in many forms. It could be a plant, it could be as I said, bringing love into your creations. Actually, that was a message in the first card, taking a risk and being creative. I feel like that is branching off or connecting here as taking a risk on yourself, being creative with the way you love yourself, because you are creating something new that will pass on with the next generations in your line. You're the starting force with this. So I want to bring in some more oracle cards now. This one is called Be Your Own Magic. Ooh, number 12, expectations. Don't seek anyone's approval. True, this is all about you breaking that cycle of seeing this certain person and maybe other people as authority that you need approval and validation from. That's done with. You are finding ways to give yourself approval, finding ways to be happy and satisfied with how do I say this? You fulfilling your own expectations. That is enough already. If you already fulfill your own expectations, then what other outside validation do you need? That's your energy going forward with the winter solstice. And that's so beautiful. There's a strong tone here of independence and being an independent thinker, an independent actor in the world, doing things in your own way to set a course for others. A more loving course is what I'm feeling with the single rose here. Makes me think of the Ace of Cups again. It starts with a single rose, a single act of love for yourself. You see this figure is they're sniffing the rose for themselves and for no one else. Okay, let's get a healing card. Your path may be bumpy, but this will alter soon, number 29. That makes me think back to the idea that in this course of the unknown that you're on right now, it might feel a little bit bumpy, a little bit rough, a little bit directionless, but it's kind of like you'll hit a clearing, so to speak. You'll hit like a stable clearing of road and things will become more clear to you. I feel like the thing that will alter is your sense of direction and your clarity on your navigation. It's like, do you see the dawning sun here? It's you're very close to this moment. I will say directly immediately after the winter solstice, which is on December 21st. You'll get some clarity in your direction and it will be undeniable to you. You'll have such a sense of it's like a solemn acceptance of this. You will feel it in your body, in your chest, that this is true deep down in your bones, this direction that you see ahead of you. The goat and willow, overcoming obstacles, number 11. Interesting that, yeah, you're getting another bumpy road and obstacles card here. But the overcoming obstacles, that really speaks to the idea that you're at the end. It will alter soon. You've kind of gone through the worst of it, yeah. And I want to say the worst of it was kind of your own internal experience of things. So weathering the storm within was really the obstacle that you're overcoming right now. And there's a lot of serenity ahead. Yeah, there's a lot of calm, I feel. Strength is what you've been gaining in this unique way. Ooh, creativity again. Strength and creativity. And you have another orange. Orange slices were in here too. So orange might be a symbol to you. It might be an indication of like a place, or it has some other meaning to you, like health, like orange juice, for example. Just interpret that as it fits into your life and your understanding. There's actually a book I read that opens with a strong story about an orange and connecting with signs from spirit by I think her name's Laura Lynn Jackson. She's a very famous psychic medium, and I think that was called Signs. Yeah. So you might want to look into that book, and you might want to strengthen your language of signs. You already have a language, and you can just kind of make it more solid, more strong. Something with stars, 2, 3 stars is assigned to you, but oranges itself might be assigned to you too, coming up. So if you see like an orange stick out in a very meaningful way in the next several days, I'll say within the next week, think of that as a sign. Think of what that's telling you. And for many people, it will be showing you how strong you are. I feel like I wanted to get one more of these. Oh, news. Very literal. I'm going to take that. You have news arriving, very positive news. And the single heart here makes me think of the Ace of Cups again. So this is news related to that direction of self-love, or that direction of self-awareness, self-understanding, and self-care that we've been talking about. With the feather here, this could be intuitive news. We've been talking about signs, so you might, I strongly feel actually that you'll receive your news that you're looking for through signs with your spirit team. So that's why in the next several days, the next week or so, keep yourself attuned and alert to signs around you. This is very positive, it's very loving. It's not like it's like life altering, but it's more of like your spirit team showing up for you at a time that you need it and giving you that reassurance. And it feels very real to you. It's what I'm seeing is like being in a mundane place like a mall or a busy street, and when this happens, it's like everything has like a gold shimmer around you, like the world just seems a little bit warmer and shinier when this happens. So yeah, feelings are a big part of my language, so this is how I'm interpreting what's happening for you here. I want to get a couple more cards to end off your message from the Winter Solstice. Feel this one. I am in harmony with all that surrounds me. I am at peace. Yeah. That really goes well with this card too. I feel like this card is really kind of the outcome from the unknown card that we started with, like getting into that like wise person sort of energy. And that starts with releasing expectations, others' expectations, and expectations of yourself. It's almost like let yourself be free from your own expectations. Think about where your expectations come from. They might not really be your expectations, they might be societal expectations that you internalized. I felt drawn to bring in this stone. So you might want to find a black stone or a tiger's eye stone. Onyx keeps popping in my mind as a protective crystal to have around you. And that's about protecting your energy from others' expectations, keeping you in a little bubble where you can let your own creativity free. Expectations, societal and your own internal expectations, are inhibiting your creativity and your communication with spirit. So that's the main reason. Expectations are making you face one way while your spirit team is trying to make you face the other way and free you. So they're kind of like diametrically opposed in that way. You can think of it in that way. So let's get one more message here. Glimmers. Oh, you have the stars again. Notice the glimmers of hope and joy. So in your practice of self-care, self-awareness, start with the small things. Start with the little things that you love about yourself, that you're proud of. Start with the little things around you that give you hope, give you joy, and start from there. It's not that bigger instances of hope and joy are a sign of success. It's that these little moments are the success, and we tend to overlook them or dismiss them, but these little moments are a big success. And that's a big part of the winter solstice, which is the longest day of the year. Noticing any glimmer of light to hold on to makes us all the more grateful for that light being there, and for that light being there in the moment that we really need it. And so that is your winter solstice message, and I'm wishing you so much love on your journey and hoping you continue to work with love as well. Thank you for any likes, shares, and subscribes, and for sharing your energy for me to read the cards. If you're drawn to another card in that pick a card section, I'll see you there, and if not, I'll see you next time. Hi, reading 2. So you are drawn to the Silent Night card, number 32. It says, if by night the world should sleep, a sleep so deep the silence be deafening, there would sound nothing at all, nothing would sound. And so this is your message from the winter solstice, to find a space of silence, to be able to hear that deafening silence, because there's so many interplays on words here: sound and silence, deafening and nothing. There's something in between all that where your message is. And so it's a message that you're going to hear only yourself in the middle of that moment of silence. And so looking at your card, I'm being drawn to a couple of clues as to where you can position yourself to find that silence. For one, obviously, there's a really comfortable chair here, and it really speaks to me as this chair belongs to someone. So if there's like a space where you always sit that you feel that it's your own, it could be the chair at your desk, that's where it's going to happen. That's what your message is encouraging you to kind of seek out, make space and time for stillness there. Also going upstairs, a place removed from others upstairs. And then I was also drawn to the star. So if you have like a star in any space that you is part of your everyday routine, it could be like in your room, in your garage, in your backyard, wherever that star is. So these hints are going to be relevant to different people listening, so just kind of take what resonates for you there. But those kind of stood out as practical kind of nudges of where to position yourself to attach to this message that's incoming to you. I'm also drawn to the column here. It reminds me of the column in the High Priestess card in the tarot deck. And so this is very much a confirmation that it's your intuitive knowing. It could be clairaudience, like getting messages through actual words or music or sounds. That could be with like your inner voice that you hear it, or it could be through music or any kind of sounds that communicate something to you. So if you feel like you receive messages through music, and say you find your still place in the middle of the night, and you're kind of there trying to connect with your inner voice, but then suddenly it's so quiet you can hear down the street a song playing, and that song is meaningful to you, that would also be the way that your message is conveyed. So on the day of the winter solstice, December 21st, you can make some time, maybe in the middle of the night, to make a silent night for yourself and connect with the message that's coming to you in your own unique way. So I do want to read the what is it called? The description from the book to see if there's more insights there for you to draw from. So, Silent Night, number 32. Keywords are meditation, peace, and stillness. You are being guided to pause, to re-evaluate your situation. Now is not the time to move forward with your plans just yet, and you may even find your goals coming to a complete standstill. Something isn't working, and you need this time to reassess your progress before moving forward. You may even need to release your situation altogether and consider a new path to your desires. Silent Night offers further guidance. Take this time to meditate and find inner peace. You could be stuck in old or repeating patterns that have created blind spots where your situation is concerned. Perhaps you are investing in a situation that has not repaid you for some time. Or it may be that you've given more than you have to offer and it's time to cut your losses. Consider this pause a blessing and take this moment to shift your perspective. So that informs me a bit more about the situation that you're in. You're in a moment where you need this stillness in order for some important message to come through regarding a big life path decision for you to make. And I get the sense that part of the chemistry that's in the mix here is your sense of value and self-worth, and making a decision that prioritizes your needs and that respects your value. And there is a peaceful and mature and peaceful, mature, and I will say stable way of going about this, and it's just connecting with your message on your own that's going to show you the way forward. But I feel like that's really vague. I want to see if there's any general message across the individual messages that can help guide you towards what we're thinking about here, help you identify what is that way forward through this difficult decision you're making in your life path right now. So we'll draw some tarot cards for this first, and then we'll pull up more oracle cards again. So you're getting 5 of Canes reverse. So this is a situation in which it's you have been pitted against another to the point that it's an environment of win or lose, and there's no comfortable middle ground, and you're kind of done with this. You see that there is a better way to live your life than always being put in competition with, say, your colleagues or the people around you. It doesn't have to be colleagues, it could be fellow classmates, it could be people in a community that you share, it could be family members, even, like, you know, sibling rivalries and stuff. It could be a friends group from way back when that you has kind of developed into like a competitive characteristic between you all, and you're kind of done with being defined in that way. 4 of Canes in reverse. I'm gonna keep pulling. 8 of Candles and the Star in reverse. So this is the message that we're talking about, that you're waiting on, and it's been trying to get to you, but because you haven't gotten the rest and found that moment of stillness and silence to receive the message, you haven't gotten it yet. But it's been right there all along. It's been there for a while, waiting to get to you. So it's been knocking at your door, this message of how to move forward. And it's going to help you realize a dream that has yet to be realized, that you've been waiting on. So it's like you've been waiting on this dream, and your guides have been waiting on you to receive this message. So I want to see here, like, what's so important about winter solstice, and any kind of direction on what this message kind of entails. What's the information involved here? Rebirth. You have a chance to start over, to reinvent yourself, and power. And it's also a chance for you to come into your power, to realize your power, and to express it, to exercise it in a responsible way, that it's like you're ready to. So wherever that's landing with you, it's very, very general. And so, like I said, again, the specifics of that is going to have to come between you and your guides in that moment of stillness. But this is kind of the general area of that message and that way forward. Reinventing yourself, reinventing your life path to realize this dream and step into your power. So it really could be something that you believe deep inside of you, that you are blank. You are an artist, you are a musician, you are a writer, you are a PhD or a doctor. However you're seeing yourself, but for some reason you've been pitted into this competitive environment and you haven't been given the chance to flourish. It's almost like this system that you're in is rewarding different qualities, but you have these amazing qualities that the world needs. It's just this, you're in the wrong system that rewards a different set of qualities. So say, for example, you're a teacher and you have the power to like transform the way people think about the world, but you're in an environment, a school that only cares about standardized test results. And so you're in this environment that's based on competition and rankings. And so the definition of being a good teacher would be the performance of the rankings of the students. But you have the seed within you, and it's your gift, it's your power that you brought to this world, to use education for a different way, to transform people's worldviews for the better. This is all for example. Please adapt it to your situation. This is what I'm talking about here, is you're kind of in the wrong situation for your gifts to shine, and your message here is going to help you find that path forward towards that situation where your gifts shine, where you can realize your dreams and path align, I will say, is what's happening here. The goat and willow, overcoming obstacles. This came out in reading 1, I'm pretty sure, unless I'm getting my readings mixed up. So you might have a message there if you were drawn to reading 1. Yeah, so this goes really well hand in hand. This decision that you're making is an obstacle that you're overcoming, and is reifying your power to assert yourself, to claim yourself, and to identify yourself. I want to draw now. Believe in your own magic card. Follow up on this. Homeward, number 42. Take yourself out on a date. I got the phrase homeward bound. So you might direct your sights towards a place you consider home, or a group of people you consider home. It could be even like a school of thought you consider to be your home. Whatever your home base, like, position yourself towards thinking in that direction, and that's going to help you in your decision as well. Orienting yourself towards home, wherever or whatever that means to you. Inner professor. Remember what is important to you and why. Consult with your inner intuitive professor. So this card comes from the deck that I made, and I made this card as somewhat like a play on inner voice and being able to access the knowledge within you to guide yourself from your higher self, and not having to over rely on like the mentor relationship, which can happen as a student. So if you're in some sort of like power dynamic, a situation in which you have typically relied on the advice or the guidance of mentors, this card is reminding you that you have a mentor within yourself. You have the tools to be able to guide yourself. It's funny that I mentioned the inner voice before right away, and this is a card that draws on the idea of inner voice. I am seeing, this never happens in this deck, but I am just catching in this position the faint glow of a rainbow that's coming off of the lights, and the combination of the lights and the material this card is made. So there's a sign, if that's significant to you, of a rainbow that might be directing you towards the right decision. That might also just be a confirmation to you if you have a language of communication with your guides that involves rainbows. That's pretty magical. Okay, let's get one more card of advice here. The moment I start to change, the moment I am willing to bring good into my life, the universe responds in kind. So cool. So this is a great card to end out with. It's like you reaching out for your star, reaching out for your dream. Just by the act of you reaching out, the star comes closer to you and becomes in your grasp. Just the fact of you turning inward to speak to your inner professor, you receive that communication easily that you hoped for. And so that is your complete message, and I'm hoping that you receive that message without any problems, and I'm so excited for you, and I'm wishing you the best on your journey and hoping you continue to work with love on your journey as well. If you were drawn to any of the cards in that initial pick a card section, I will see you in that other reading, and if not, I will see you next time. And thank you also for any likes, shares, subscribes. Bye. Hi, reading 3. So we're asking for a message from the Winter Solstice, and you were drawn to reindeer medicine. And I'm not sure if you noticed up close, but there's a full moon being held in the reindeer's antlers. And so this is really speaking to me of a peaceful completion. I also feel like there's a moment of realization internal to you about yourself and a sense of completion from that moment of realization. There's something very peaceful there. Let me just bring in this text first, and then I also want to bring in the description from the book as well. So it says, journey into the depths of your soul, an awakening of sights revealed. It is time for no time at all, for all is presently here. So this is really interesting, right? The things that stand out to me are the depths of your soul, journey into the depths of your soul. It kind of speaks to the idea of that sense of completion, sense of realization about yourself. And then there's this word awakening again. I mean, also, so I hadn't pulled that through yet, but this could be linked to a spiritual or a self-realization, some sort of awakening on that spiritual plane for you. That's really important to seeing the whole of yourself. And then there's something about time at all and being present. So this really speaks to me about maybe if you tend to get lost in your head a lot, or you ruminate about the past, this is really about marking some sort of completion or milestone to do with making yourself present. I feel that this might have been an ongoing project for you more recently, and it's really starting to pay off. And you can see the payoff in the amount of peace that you are able to build around yourself now by creating presencing yourself in the world. When I say presencing, I'm thinking of the term grounding, staying present and grounding yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So let's bring in the book now and see what additional messages are coming in that are timely during the winter solstice. So the keywords here are inner strength, journeys, fighting for your dreams. Reindeer are hardy and majestic creatures. Unlike other animals, they are the only ones who keep their antlers all year round, carrying them like crowns atop their heads. They've earned the right to feel like kings, but as the saying goes, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Reindeer make long migrations every year through the harsh conditions of the tundra. They face challenge after challenge, yet they prevail and even make friends along the way. Reindeer are known to be openly cheery and often form relationships with humans, despite the challenging conditions in which they live. Reindeer medicine asks you, what responsibilities are you willing to endure in the pursuit of your dreams? Goals take work even with the cosmic forces behind you. You will still face challenges on your soul's path, no matter how aligned you are with your spirit. Reindeer medicine has come to your spread to tell you not to give up. The challenges you're facing now will teach you how to be stronger and more resourceful and to find ways to face your fears. So interesting messages coming in there seem a little bit different but related. So messages of perseverance, staying true to your path, which means accepting and overcoming the obstacles or the challenges along the way, seeing them as part of your path rather than deterring you from your path. They're actually making you stronger and leading you even more so in the way that you need to be going. So typically I've been pulling tarot cards at this point, but I felt like I wanted to pull a self-love card right now for you. Oh, there is no need to struggle to be better. All I need to do is love myself more today than yesterday and treat myself as someone who is deeply loved. And then this one's also coming out. I am totally in charge of my life now. So there's something, another layer of explanation or advice and guidance also coming in here that speaks to the struggle that you've been going through all your life and learning to differentiate the struggle of trying to seek out external approval versus the struggle, you know, that actually amounts towards your vision and achieving your goals and meeting your own approval and expectations. There's a difference in those two struggles, and seeking love or seeking validation from others. If you can ground yourself more into the energy of channeling your focus towards meeting your own expectations, meeting your own goals, rather than spending it on trying to catch this elusive validation or approval from external sources. This could be like people in your life, it could be family, it could be like a supervisor, it could be your own friends group, it could also be institutions, like finding institutional recognition, getting promotion, getting awards. That I'm getting the message that you have a lot of energy going out there when it's like more sustainable for you to invest the energy inward back to yourself, because once it goes out there, there's no guarantee that you'll get that approval. And I think you've been finding that in most cases, you know, it's wasted energy. And when all that really matters and what is more reliable is investing the energy into your own vision and measuring your progress by your own rubrics. And I feel that you're a much more gentler and encouraging mentor and to others, and so you can be that gentle and encouraging mentor to yourself as well, because you are totally in charge of your life now. If there were previous circumstances where you felt like you felt less control. You felt like your security relied on the approval of someone else. That's not the case anymore. This is your reindeer medicine coming in with the winter solstice. So that's wonderful. In some way, it's a message of independence, like quiet strength and independence as well. Not like a forceful asserting of independence. It feels very different. It's just like internally learning to separate yourself from outside impositions of who you are or expectations of who you should be. Oh, this is struggling. Okay, so we're gonna get some tarot cards to fill out this message now from the winter solstice. What can our reading 3 be guided by? So you're getting 2 breaks, and I take that as 2 messages. So your first message is the Magician, the 9 of Vessels, and the 7 of Vessels in reverse. And I might pull a final card to finish that message. So with the Magician energy, this is that energy of you taking charge of your life now, of setting off on your own vision to fulfill that vision in a very real way, on your life path, in a material form, maybe creating something in the world, or bringing forth new ideas, or sharing your light, sharing your emotion. I'm trying to draw from all 4 suits, all 4 elements in the tarot, because that is what the Magician works with. The cups, the swords, the pentacles, and the wands, to bring something unique and that's meant to be brought by you into the world. So the Magician energy is really kind of like forming the environment around your life right now. There's a lot of potential in the air, is how we could say it. And then with the 9 of Vessels, this is very fulfilling for you. There's a lot of potential in you finding that self-love, filling your own cup, being satisfied with what you do in the world, by traversing or walking the Magician's path. And with the 7 of Vessels in reverse, that's also very encouraging, because it says to me that you have singled down your path to one. You've gotten a very clear vision of what direction you should go, and you're not wavering in that. It's kind of funny because the previous 2 cards have people going in certain directions. It's like they've chosen their path, whether it's in this water or on the stones. They know which way they need to go, either to land or to cross the waters here. And that's where you're at right now. Trust your vision, because there's a reason you're being compelled to go that way. Okay, so I want to pull from this oracle deck to finish off that message. New beginning, I love that. So yeah, you are, I guess, hovering over that message is the sense of a new beginning, starting new in your new direction that is more authentic and more fulfilling to you. That's how we can say this message. So if you've already started this new beginning, set off in this direction, you know, whether it's choosing to change jobs or change relationships, even set new boundaries or new ways of allowing people to relate to you. It could be setting new habits for your health. There's some kind of new beginning in which you've chosen yourself as the main priority of that shift. This is an encouragement, and if you've been thinking of doing that, this is also an encouragement to go ahead with that new beginning in mind. So we're gonna get the second message now. You have the 6 of Sticks, in reverse. Ace of Stones and Nine of Stones in reverse. So this is that part of the message in which we're talking about struggle. So this is the message, another line coming in to clarify that, or to expand on that, about the struggle you've been going through. I see that with the Six of Sticks in reverse. There is going to be a new offer, a material partnership, I would say, or a material offer of some sort. I do want to say partnership because of the Nine of Stones in reverse. I'm getting the message that you realizing that you can't do this all on your own. You need some kind of partnership or some kind of mentorship, some kind of advice, or somebody to collaborate with. However that's landing for you, you're going to receive this offer, and it's kind of up to you to be in a place where you're secure enough in yourself, your sense of like spiritual, mental independence, so that you can work in this partnership without being totally overwashed by the other person's ideas. So that's kind of the key message behind developing your sense of independence, not necessarily to only work solo, but so that you can fully bring yourself without too much compromise into a working relationship. That's coming through here in the next message. So let's finish off with another oracle. Power. Yeah, this is you learning to use your power, realizing what your power is, learning to use it in a balanced way around others, so that you don't have to be only thinking of working alone. You can still work with others and not feel like you've lost your power in any way. So it's very clear for me and very encouraging for you too. This is really coming through. If you feel like you've been struggling through this recently, it's really coming together in the Winter Solstice. And oh my gosh, I didn't mean to use this deck. I actually meant to use this Yuletide deck. And I'm so sad I didn't use it, but I think it was meant to be. So I want to go ahead and draw one card from the Yuletide deck just to finish off. Ooh, the moon. So, and there's your full moon again, like in the first card. So the message I'm feeling from this is you're not going to see everything ahead of you, but part of your major lesson that you could develop here, your major strength you can develop here, is becoming comfortable in not knowing the future, in not knowing what's all ahead of you, and learning to, as we said in the first card, being present and living in what's directly in front of you moment by moment. You might consider yourself like a worrier, like an anxious type of worrier, always trying to like account for future scenarios. That's really draining you, and it's actually not necessary, because you do have the ability to tap into your guidance when needed, but your guides want you to limit your scope to the immediate time frame that you're in now, and not try to plan too far ahead, because it doesn't allow for the magic of unanticipated factors to come in and shape your path in actually a beautiful way. So I get the sense that you're only thinking of the future and like the lack of clarity about the future in a fearful way, but they're asking you to think of like, maybe it could be very beautiful. What are the beautiful possibilities? And learning to kind of operate with that in balance as well, and not only thinking the worst. The Mouse and Buttercup, Innocence. And this is number 0, so it's again kind of that like new beginning energy, fresh start. The best way to begin is going forward with your most innocent ideas. So not anything that's built strategically around like like I guess meeting productivity indicators or making a profit, those aren't going to help you shape this path in the most authentic and fulfilling way. Tapping into your inner child and thinking, what would your inner child like aspire for this new beginning, that's going to lead you in the most fulfilling direction. So I suddenly got the image of a pizza parlor. So I don't know if somebody's thinking of opening a pizza place somewhere, or some kind of restaurant. This is can serve it as an example of this more generalized message. So say you have gotten the idea and maybe gotten the startup capital to start this pizza parlor, and you might be crunching the numbers, as you should, responsibly, making sure that the budget and the timeline and the work all fits together. But your message is not to have that lead the vision of this pizza parlor. For example, say you're tapping into a very childlike vision of like, oh, this pizza parlor could actually be like more of a community gathering center. Like it will be arranged in this way so that there's like a stage in the middle, and we could have local performances and even poetry readings, something like that, where kind of like your imagination runs wild, like that phrase. That is going to lead you in the most authentic but also the most successful direction. Successful like in all senses of the definition of success, like financially as much as a sense of like social success, of anchoring the pizza parlor as an institution in your community, like that. So that's the energy that your guides are asking you to be guided to go forward with, rather than a fearful outlook of what could go wrong. Embrace your inner child with the wonder of, what if this all goes right? What is possible when we think that way? I want to read, and I want to end with a Believe in Your Own Magic card. Oh my gosh, I think that I'm pretty sure one of the past two readings got this, and it might have been all. Is it? Okay, so if you were in one of those readings, or if you were drawn to another reading, you might have another message back there. This is just reconfirming to me what I said about building something in your community. So if that was resonating with you, this is a confirmation that that is a big part of your life path, your alignment with your purpose, and your definition of success. So keeping your sights on building a sense of home, building a sense of community, however that means to you. Say if, you have someone on your team who is freaking out about the financial aspects, it would be your job to bring it back to the purpose of of building this thing. And that will guide you. And this takes some trust, but it will guide you to where this needs to be in the end. Yeah, okay, I lied. I'm gonna bring one more card in. There's so many cards around me right now. If one wants to come through. Oh, I love that this happened. Yeah, your inner child holds space. It's landing in between innocence and the moon. And so I actually think if you hold space for your inner child to come through, they're going to bring you some really valuable ideas. Through this moon card, something will surface from beneath where the inner child is holding actually these golden ideas. So things like I was saying, like imagining the pizza parlor to be a community space where poetry readings happen, that comes from your inner child, something like that. So if you can, like, this is very literal advice, you can adapt this, but if there's some activity that would evoke your inner child. And I'm getting the image of just getting a blank piece of paper and a set of crayons and just drawing out your dream scenario of like, or dream outcome of what this is. That's going to help you connect with and unlock those golden ideas coming from your inner child. I think, you know, as children do, there's going to be a lot of ideas and some more fantastical than others. So it'll be up to you once you get all of that out to discern like what's the golden idea in there. But that is where your golden idea is going to come from. And so that's such a beautiful message for winter solstice. So that's your complete reading. I'm wishing you so much love on your journey, and I'm hoping you continue to work with love as well. Thank you for sharing your energy for the reading, and thank you for any likes, share, subscribes. And if you're drawn to another card in the pick a card section, I'll see you in that reading, and if not, I'll see you next time.